Welcome to Fitworks, perfect posture, natural pain solutions. I'm Sherry and this is Gary, and we are going to show you how to stretch.
Stretching is key to correcting your posture. I mean, at Fitworks, we're building and stretching specific muscle groups to line up all the joints. And if you get flexible, it speeds up the process. And flexibility is something you want to work on every single day. Sherry and I stretch one another every day, and it feels fantastic. Imagine a body with no pain, no aches and pains. It just takes a little bit of effort. Correct your posture, and we know how to do that, and work on your flexibility. So first of all, we want to lay down a towel. Now, if you have somebody who has a really excessive lumbar curve, a sway back, when they lay down, put a bolster there. It helps support their pelvic girdle and their spine, okay? But if you got somebody with a straight, it looks perfect, then you don't need it. So first of all, what we're going to do is I pick up this leg, this right leg, and I put my hand on the bottom of the foot and my left hand right here on the knee, and I just come forward, stretching the gluteus maximus. And I always thought that'd be a great name for a kid, Gluteus Maximus. And I'm going to have her push. Go ahead and give me a push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to relax. So that's contract, relax. I'm taking it to the new end point. And then she's going to push again for a contract for 10 and let go. Now she's going to relax, and I'm going to take it to a new end point. So we do that about 3 times. It's amazing the third time how magical it is. It lengthens the muscle very quickly. Now we're going to go to the gastrocnemius, or your calf. So I put their leg on my right shoulder, and I'm putting my hands on the ball of their foot, and I'm bringing back down their foot and to stretch the gastrocnemius. She's going to go ahead and push for 10 seconds. Good, good, good.
I'm pushing with my toes upwards towards the ceiling.
Okay, now relax. Okay, give me another push. Good. So contract, relax. What this contract, relax does is it sends a message to the Golgi tendons, let go. And that's how we're lengthening the muscle. Okay, now give me another push. So when we take the muscle to its end point and then contract it, it lengthens. Okay, so now we're going to go to the hamstring. You always want to feel the stretch in the belly of the muscle. So in the hamstring, we want to have a little bit of knee flexion so that we don't feel it behind the ligaments and tendons behind the knee. We feel the belly of the muscle. So we're coming back into this, and now we're going to an end point. You can feel the muscle just stop. Now you're going to take this leg and push against me for 10. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Now relax. I'm going to take it to a new end point. Fantastic. So you should feel it right here in the belly of the muscle. Okay, give me another push. You never want to feel it in a joint, or behind a joint, or around a joint. Okay, now you can use your shoulder when you do this to make it a little easier. So you just lean right in here, and you just take it to the end point. You can feel it stop. You know, you see this leg wants to lift. You can't put your hand here, but you don't want to be aggressive. You don't want to force anything. Okay, now give me another push. So, okay, now we're going to relax. We'll just take it to a new end point, and we'll see how that ends up. Now the goal is to get this knee to the table. Okay? In time. You don't have to do it in the first session. Okay? So now we're going to take the knee out. This knee should fall right to the table. That tells me all the adductors are the right length. So we've got some work to do here. So what we want to do is put your hand here. You can even put your hand right here on the hip. Apply a little bit of pressure, and now she's going to push her knee upward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's good. Beautiful. A little bit of pressure. So I'm stretching the muscle. Now she's going to contract it. Give me another push. This contract, relax technique is how I've stretched everybody. And how many people have I stretched over the last 20 years, Sherry?
Gary has successfully stretched over 110,000 times
Okay, now here's the gracilis. This crosses the knee.
in 20 years.
So this leg, we want to have about 90 degrees here at the hip. So go ahead and take this leg and push against me. Good. Okay, now relax. Look at that, how that gave. Can you see how that's giving? I'm not forcing it, it's giving by itself. Now give me another push. Very good. So we don't want to force anything in flexibility work. All you want to do is lengthen the muscle, then do the contract, then relax, and repeat that 3 times. And you're getting the muscles changing, okay? And here's another, this gets deep in the, behind the glute. So this knee, we want this knee to end up in the right shoulder and this ankle at the left shoulder. Now this is tight on everybody, okay? Okay, now she could push against me. Go ahead and push against me.
You could get more. You're not being enough.
Okay, now relax.
Get it tighter.
Okay, give me another push.
Yeah, now you're getting it. Oh, yeah.
This is the piriformis. Now when you stretch a muscle, you want to stretch it slowly and give it time to let go and give. You're not trying to break it. You're not trying to break anything. So you got to give it. Just think of the muscle like an elastic band. We're going to stretch it slowly. And every time we stretch it, it's getting longer and longer and longer, more and more flexible. Take some time. Okay. So you don't force anything. You don't do a ballistic. Ballistic's where you bounce. Don't ever bounce because that's how you tear a muscle. Just think of a muscle like a rubber band, and you got to slowly stretch it. Okay? So now we're going to bend this knee and plant this foot right here. We're going to take this knee down. And she's stretching the gluteus medius. And she can push her knee outward. Her chin. Good. Okay, now relax. See that? Okay, give me that push. Good, good, good. Awesome. And you want to take your time in stretching. You're not in a hurry. You know, a really good stretch. We stretch everybody about 15-20 minutes in here. You know, if I stretch you for a half an hour, I'm really spoiling you. You know? So now we're keeping the leg long. She's locking the knee. We're picking up the gluteus medius right here on the top of this hip. And you want to just grab a hold of this ankle and put the pressure here above the knee, not below the knee. We don't want to compromise that knee joint. And just stretch that like that.
Those are really good.
Yep, you can feel that go all the way up. Okay, so now here's one I love doing. You take the person's ankles and you just pull, and what you're doing is decompressing the lumbar spine. And they'll feel a little stretch. Yep. It feels fantastic.
Really low.
Yep. And then this picks up quadratus lumboris. They just stay right there, and you're just turning the leg, the hips, and it's right on the top of your hip.
Yeah.
Right there. Quadratus lumboris. That muscle contracts every time you take a step, so you don't trip over your foot. QL. See that? Just pause, let the muscle relax. Now you see I don't do a contract relax with this one because it's kind of difficult for them to do that.
Yeah, this was just a basic stretch.
Same with this. This is just separating and decompressing.
Yeah.
Now if you want to, this is a stretch that some people like. You're bringing the knees up, you're lifting their legs, and you're taking the knees down to the chest, and you're stretching their low back that way. Okay?
I hate this one.
Okay, I want to explain. I'm going to show you this. Let's do this other side, and I want to explain something. A muscle, when you contract a muscle, you're burning up a cell in the muscle. And when you're burning up a cell, it's laying dormant in the muscle fiber. And so the lactic acid comes along and flushes out the dead cell. Okay, that's why the muscle gets sore or stiff, because you're feeling a dead cell laying dormant in the muscle. That's why it's stiff. And the lactic acid sometimes can't even flush it out. That's why you go, how come that muscle's so tight and so stiff and so sore? It's got dead cells in it. It's contracting and it's working way too much. It's not a healthy muscle. Healthy muscle is a soft muscle. When you think about your bicep and tricep, they're soft and they're strong muscles. And that's because they contract and they relax. So the lactic acid flushes out the dead cell on a regular basis. You have a tight muscle, it's because the muscle's working too hard and you're not stretching. And it tells me your posture's not correct. Your skeletal frame's working too hard. So healthy muscle is soft. So we want to stretch every single day. And you'll see the progress in time. There's no rush. It's just all about feeling good. See how that knee goes down lower and lower and lower? Hey, give me another push. So I just put this foot right on my leg, push down. We can go ahead and she can push her. There you go. Okay, now relax.
It felt so good, I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay, give me another push. Good, good, good. So adductors, I've never met a body that didn't have tight adductors. So I'll show you, I'm going to show you something that you could do. Let's roll to your right, your left side. And here's something you could do. If you have that person lay like this, the table is, or the bed is supporting their leg. And you could come along here and they don't feel like they have to support this. They can relax. You can come along and push on the adductors. And this is a great way to stretch it. And talk to the person about how does that pressure feel? Does that feel about right?
It feels fine.
Okay, so, or you could do your forearm. You could come in here and go like this. So this will lengthen the tissue really quick. So if I can get this loose, I can line up the legs a heck of a lot faster. Okay, let's go back on your back. Now let me show you a little bit,
93.
now we're going to do this. See, this is how we did this. We went on this side. So that's the gluteus medius on the left side. So this gets tight. If you want, you could come along here and massage this a little bit to loosen this up. And while you're stretching it. There's the gluteus medius. It's good. So now when it comes to stretching the arms, I always take the arm and I'm at 90 degrees. Her elbow is lined up with her shoulder. And her hand falls to the table. That's absolutely perfect. So there's nothing tight in there. There's about 24 muscles in your shoulder girdle, and they're going different directions to support the shoulder. And if I got a muscle that's tight, I'm going to have her take her hand and push upward. So she's doing a contract, relax, and relax. So I'm lengthening the anterior deltoid. That's the muscle on the front of your shoulder. Okay, give me another push. So I'm lengthening this. So that just now perfectly flexible. Here's latissimus dorsi. So I pull, I put one hand here and here, distribute the pull,
Elbow and wrist.
pull, then I let go, come to a new plane,
Elbow
pull,
and wrist.
and I come over here, and I assist it with putting my hand behind the shoulder and pull. The reason why I do that is so I don't pull her hand off. You know?
That wouldn't be good.
So now this is the left arm. See how that just falls down like that really perfectly? This is pretty good too. So I'm going to stretch this like this. Change the angles. So I'm trying to protect her wrist. So those are great ways. That's a great way to stretch her body. Now we're going to stretch her quadriceps. Then we're going to go face down. So make stretching fun and enjoy it. We do this right before about 9:30 at night, and you sleep so fantastic.
A little tip though, ladies, stretch your husband first, and then let him stretch you last. Because stretching him is a workout for you. I stretch that body, you can stretch your man's body too.
Okay, so now the reason why we're laying down is the table or the floor is supporting the SI joint and the spine and the lumbar and the whole pelvic girdle. So
Everything's protected.
we're just coming right here. Now when I do a stretch, the knee is like a hinge to a door, okay? So this is how it tracks. Nothing wrong with that. You just don't want to tweak it off on some angle. So you come down. Now if she felt pressure inside the joint, I want to stop. Don't force it.
The knee joint.
So I ask the person, where do you feel that? In the muscle and the quadricep in front of your leg, or do you feel it inside the knee joint? And if she says knee joint, I'm going to stop right there.
However, at this time, I feel it in the belly of the muscle.
Okay, so let's say she feels it in the knee. So give me a push. So I'm going to stop right there at that point. So here I'm going to go, let's say she feels it right there, and she goes, I feel that in the knee. Now I'm going to stop. And I have them take control, and I'll have some people who are so worried about it, I'll have them, they'll say stop. So when I pick up their leg, they'll tell me when to stop. So they feel like they're in control. Now they push against me. So we're always thinking about protecting the joints in this business. And we want to protect this knee joint. Now in this case, because she doesn't have a problem with her knee, let me say this first. When you do this, contract, relax like this, and just stop right where it hurts, and then contract it. We can lengthen the quadricep. It just takes a little longer. But because she doesn't have any problems with her knees, I can take this all the way back. She feels this in the quadricep. And you can see how she's looked really close to the glute. The goal is to get the heel to the glute. Now I could force that, but why force it? Okay, now push against me for 10. Okay? Watch how this will go right to the glute just by stretching her this way. Okay, we're almost there. Give me another push. So each time that muscle's getting longer and longer. Now this will fall right to the glute. See that? So now this is how you stretch the this is the soleus. The soleus goes from here to here, and the gastroc sits on top of the soleus. So this is all about stretching the soleus. So I'm pushing down on the toes, the heels lined up with the knee, and I'm just pushing down. And this feels fantastic. Let's try this one. So we're going to come down. Let's say she feels some pain right there. We're going to stop, and she's going to do a contract and a relax. But if she doesn't, we're going to take it all the way. As long as they feel the muscle stretching, then we can keep applying pressure. but it's conservative pressure. This table is amazingly protecting her. Okay, now give me another push. Good. So, there's sometimes when somebody's really tall, I'll put this on my shoulder to stretch their quadricep. When I stretch a guy and they're taller, I'm going to start using my body a little more. So here's the Soleus again. And now remember this, when you have muscles that are too tight, that's telling me that you have a muscle skeletal imbalance and your posture is not right. It's kind of like the tires on your car. If they're not balanced, it's a terrible ride. And you go into the mechanic, he balances all the tires, puts them back on, and you think, I think I'll keep this car for a while. It's the same thing with this body. We want to design an exercise program to correct all the muscle imbalances in your body so that you don't have any tight muscles. And flexibility just speeds up the process. Now, some people have said, can I just stretch to correct my posture? No. You got to build muscle, line up the joint, because those muscles are going to hold the joint in the right place. Flexibility just speeds it up. And then flexibility becomes a maintenance thing, really, for the rest of your life, just to flush out. Every time you stretch a muscle, you're flushing out all those dead cells. So this body is a lot healthier. Okay, now Sherry's going to sit up and hang her feet over the edge. And what I do is I grab a hold of her hands like this, right down under the wrist. And this muscle is the anterior deltoid, right on the front of the shoulder. This is really hard for me to feel it. So I'm going to go and I can kind of feel it stop. I don't want to force it. Now go ahead and push your arms down. So 10 seconds. Okay, now relax. So contract, relax again. And see how I'm going a little bit further. It's not because I'm forcing it, it's letting me. Okay, give me another push. So flexibility feels fantastic. This is fun. Can you imagine doing this every single day? Okay, give me another push. You're going to feel absolutely fantastic. Life's going to be different. Okay, now we're going to put your hands behind your head. And I'm going to take, and I'm putting her, you can put like a soccer ball or something between, or a pillow between you and the other person. If you want. And you can grab a hold of her elbows. Now, we want to feel pectorals. That's your chest. So do you feel the pectorals?
I do.
Okay, now give me a push. Now some people, so there's a contract, relax. Some people, they might have an issue in their shoulder. Okay, give me the push. And so when you do this stretch, I ask, do you feel it in the pectoral or do you feel it in the shoulder? If somebody says, I feel it in the shoulder, and I can generally tell which one, but I'll ask them right or left. But let's say it's her right shoulder. What's happening? The muscle's too tight in there. She shouldn't be feeling the shoulder muscles because I'm not stretching them. There's an imbalance in the shoulder girdle. I'm stretching her pectorals. So I want to stop short.
Pectorals.
I want to stop short of that discomfort, even though she might not feel the pectorals. And then now push the elbows forward again. Okay? So, in other words, her shoulders wouldn't be ready to start stretching her pectorals this way. Okay?
So if you have a shoulder injury, this might not be the smartest stretch for you at the time.
Yep, just never force a joint. You never want to feel pain when you exercise or you stretch. It needs to feel good. That tells you you're doing the right thing. Okay, let's get flexible.